Welcome to Music's the Hang Up. In this episode, we're going to look at last week's news in regards to futurefunk and vaporwave. Usually this is a podcast episode, but this one's a little more visual, and so I'm uploading it to YouTube. You can find all of our normal episodes on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play. Without further ado, let's get into this week's news. There was a lot of drama. I don't want to get into that. There's actually a lot of good things that came out. To start off, our favorite, MACROSS 8299, re-released SAILORWAVE II with Neon City Records. It was on cassette, it sold out immediately, the CDs hung around for a bit, but those are gone too. If you copped one, congratulations, that's an awesome record. Up next, Crystal Katsune, someone we've had on the podcast for an interview, he released this new album, Beach Babes and Vaporwaves. He released this album with Seiko Mart, Japanese label. It's only digital at the moment, but let's look forward to seeing that on cassette. I got his permission to play one of his songs, and to give you a little taste, we're going to play the song Ocean Side. Awesome. Congratulations, Katsune. Up next, Young Bae. He releases Bae 2 on vinyl and cassette with My Pet Flamingo label. It sells out the same day, obviously, but he teased it 4 days beforehand, and I hope everyone got a chance to check that out. In the future, I'll be a little more adaptive to make sure people can know about releases beforehand, but at least we're documenting it. On the other side of releases, FIBRE released a new song with BarbWalters titled Say What, released with Business Casual. That's pretty awesome. In the same regards, SUI UZI gets album Jumping Out Without Thinking on the Spotify. So go check that out on the Spotify. And lastly, Night Tempo releases a sneak peek, Showa Idol's Groove. The download went available on Sunday, so go check that out now. The link is in the show notes. That's all for new releases and music that's out. We also have some concerts coming up. Who doesn't want to go to a futurefunk concert? An Italian promoter just announced that there's 3 Blank Banshee live shows coming up, all in Italy, Bologna, Milano, and Roma. You can check those out in the show notes. It sounds like he's going on to a tour, starting in Italy. Sounds like a concert you definitely don't want to miss. Before we spoke about Young Bae and Night Tempo, well, they're going on tour. July 6th, Young Bae, Night Tempo, Flamingosis, and Party Pupils will be in Los Angeles at the FONDA. You can find a link to that in the show notes. I heard Young Bae is an incredible artist to watch live. If I lived in the United States, I would definitely want to go travel out there to see that. That's actually a pretty hype concert. This week we also found out about some collaborations. Groove FM announces a collaboration with West Palm Beats, Expenses. They cited to release either Monday or Tuesday this week. So that's today if you're listening to it on Monday. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. They are 2 pretty big names in the scene, and a collaboration between the 2 actually sounds really cool. Speaking of collaboration, Rugamiya, I believe is how you pronounce it, on Reddit, released all the transcripts for the AMAs with various futurefunk artists. Just like how I interview artists, he does text version interviews. He's interviewed so far Strawberry Station, School Toyama, and Sparkly Night. 2 of those, School Toyama and Sparkly Night, actually have been on our podcast, so maybe it's time to go talk to Strawberry Station. If you're interested in checking out those guys, though, I definitely recommend checking out those transcripts. It's cool that he's also interviewing people, and people are that interested in futurefunk to take a listen. So, link in the show notes. For some sad news, not related to drama, I don't even want to touch that, but Vaporwave label Sunset Recordings shut down. And it looks like it's for personal reasons. Not too much has been given out. I've reached out and asked if he wanted to do a final words interview. He said he was interested, but he's kind of busy right now. We'll stay in contact with him to see if we can get any information about what's going on, his future, and what's going to happen to his artists. If you're actually someone on that label and you want to talk about working with them or even just your music, yeah, hit me up. And to end this episode, our futurefunk released an essential list for 2018. Yeah, it's an okay list. It's pretty mainstream titles, but Popular Vote came out with the albums by Moishop, Moi Moi. Number 2 was Desired's Timeless. Number 3, Desired's Plastic Whatever. Melanade, Flamingosis, album Fight Fantastic. Lem Kuja's Cheesecake Plus. SUI UZI, Heartbreak Beat. Night Tempo, Moonrise. All awesome titles, and definitely worth checking out. Under the compilations, My Pet Flamingo, Flamingo Funk Volume 1, was number 1 on their most popular vote. And for reissue, FIBRE's 810 or 810 Deluxe was the only one selected. Under the panel vote, we had BarbWalters Reconnected, Classic Files and New Classics, Remlar At the End of the Day, and then under compilations, Skyline Collective, Volume 1, It's Always Summer Here. And under reissue, EV, EXI, Remember. Cool. The only thing that I have a complaint or comment, I suppose, about this is, quote, due to the lack of futurefunk albums in 2018, we reduced the numbers of records and replaced the expansion category with the new reissued, which I think is kind of unfair. There's a lot of other artists out there last year that released a couple of albums that I think definitely stood out. That's why I said this felt more mainstream. So, for example, Crystal Katsune, Crystal Cola, Sparkly Night, and obviously School Toyama. So I don't know what that is. It just felt too popular. Those guys are awesome artists. I mean, everyone's an awesome artist, but for our future funk, you should be supporting the scene more. Oh wait, I'm starting to get a little controversial. Well, whatever. So that's 2018. I'm going to try and make these a regular thing as long as there's enough news to talk about. Everyone was saying it was a very emotional and drama-ridden week, and I kind of wanted to point out what may have got missed because of that. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, all the links and all the mentions will be in a blog post or on the show notes, so definitely check those out. I'm heading back to the United States this weekend, and I'm actually going to try and turn this into a YouTube video. So if you're watching this from YouTube, come hang out with us on the podcast. I'm posting 2 times a week. You get to listen to interviews, find out the latest news on future funk, vaporwave, and lo-fi hip-hop. And by following me, you're staying connected to the scenes. If you like this kind of thing, come hang out with me on Discord. I have a link in the show notes. You can also add me on Instagram and Twitter at Music's the Hang Up. Until next time, cheers.